Mr. Leo, dear friends, colleagues. I think the program is already done, and I'm sure everybody would like to go to the lunch. I would like to spoil your appetite for that by making speeches. You know, diplomats are good in making speeches, but this is not really the point. I want really to just remind ourselves with the 2 or 3 remarks, very quick ones, hopefully. I will do it. You know, the first post I had been as an ambassador was really in Africa, Tanzania. And I was so much surprised to see that China had built a very important project, which is connecting Dar es Salaam with Lusaka in Zambia, cutting through Malawi. That was a very old project, actually, before even Mombasa, you know, Nairobi, which is just close next door. That was really interesting for me to see. That time China is not of today. China, with limited resources, actually had put too much effort to help connecting those local countries who has no access actually to the water and to the ocean to get connected, which has really brought too much, you know, impact into not only Tanzania by itself, Tanzania, Malawi, and also Zambia, and had also helped the traffic and transport even to nearby countries like Congo, Rwanda, up to Uganda. Now we are talking about Nairobi, Mombasa, and East Africa as a whole. That was really remarkable. So it's not new. Build and Grow initiative in its thinking from the Chinese perspective is really building over a vision that China has taken, not recently, but many decades ago, how to help building infrastructure. Because indeed, infrastructure, especially in the term of transport, whether it be sea or rivers or roads or railways, is just like the blood circulation in the body. A healthy body cannot function if the blood is not circulating very well. And this is why we need, at the global level, a network of all these transport and communication so that we can exchange. And we have to exchange for the best for all of us. I was delighted to see my friend from Nepal embassy talking about the importance of this country in connecting not only his own country benefit, but rather for the neighbor, which would be really remarkable to see that happening. Now, as a politician and diplomat, we read also history sometimes, right? And in history, we have learned also, sometimes transport and facilitating communication is not all the time for good, sometimes for bad objectives. We have experienced that in many Asian and African countries, when the colonialists came all the way from different continents, not really to help us, but rather to colonize us, rather to loot whatever we have from our natural resources. I cannot forget, especially that I'm coming from a country called Palestine, and you know Palestine is just connecting Asia and Africa, if you remember. I'm sure all of you knows where is Suez Canal. Suez Canal is a project which has connected the Mediterranean with the Red Sea, cutting almost half the way, the distance from Europe to Asia. That was really a fantastic idea. And this vision, which has been brought by King of Egypt by that time, Said, who had offered his vision to a French engineer called Ferdinand de Lesseps. It was fascinating. That imagine how you could bring all the way Europe to Asia, India, China, and all Southeast Asia. Fantastic. But that was vision, was not really for the best of us, we discovered. It's meant really for the colonialists to take over even more and cut all the road away instead of going all around Africa, make it shorter. That ended up really into wars at the end of the day over Suez Canal. The British and the French had taken hold of that Suez Canal, not really for the benefit of the Egyptians, You don't know how many thousands had sacrificed their lives to build that canal. That's the time when there was no technology. The poor peasants, with their shovel, they were digging 10 years to cut through a few meters canal, bringing the Mediterranean into the Red Sea. Those peasants had sacrificed their lives. We don't know even their names. But at the end of the day, Egypt has to fight during Nasser to nationalize the very canal which they had built over their land. Because with the colonial thinking, it has different meaning for them. So when we talk about BRI today, we are talking about a different type of vision, motivated with goodwill. We are connecting for a good purpose. We are not connecting to exploit each other. So it's not all the time good to connect. In the past, when everybody was happy with the resources that God has given them, some nation like China preferred really to be left alone. And instead, they built a wall. They had no intention to go out. They would like simply just to be happy with themselves. But still, they were not even left alone. People came all the way for the tea, for the gunpowder, for the paper, for silk, whatever that they used to have. Now we are living in a different world. We are now, most of the nations now, colonialism is something from the past. Unfortunately, not for Palestine, until now at least. But all countries are happily now independent, and we are now working with each other on equal basis. So the BRI has got a different meaning of connectivity for the best of all of us. Last remark I would like to talk, since I'm coming from a region which is still in trouble, the Middle East. We wish really to see China coming all the way to the Middle East. There is so much to work there. Unfortunately, we need peace first, because without peace, countries cannot work with each other very well. We need peace. We need China to be builder of peace and building also infrastructure, which highly we need. Why not the Chinese engineer would think, instead of separating Asia and Africa, rather bridging between Asia and Africa? That would be a remarkable vision. And you can imagine how much we are going to need, maybe a tunnel under the Red Sea, which might connect, Arabia altogether with Africa, with East Africa. Imagine how much this could be wonderful. This project needs so many partners, stakeholders. Still, we need too much to connect even the Arab countries among themselves. In the old times, we used to have network which goes through Istanbul up to Algeria, a railway that had been built by the Turks, the Ottoman Empire by that time. That railway no more existing anymore. The Belgians, they used to travel all the way from Central Asia up to Mecca in Saudi Arabia to have been totally destroyed. So we can, and we have a lot. I'll be happy really, on behalf of all my colleagues, really, to bring those kind of thoughts. Because at the end of the day, it's not the engineering challenge that we have. All the time you need the vision of leaders. The political work is quite important. The finance and the capacity is the second factor. The technical and engineering challenge, I'm sure we have enough professors here and know-how that has been developed through all our countries. We have here, at least as Palestinians, we have more than 500 students who, most of them study in those beautiful university engineering, and they can't solve any problem we have. What's left is for us diplomats and politicians to work together to make this vision of BRI, which is quite noble in its essence, that we should share together, exchange together for the better of all humanity, because we share one history. I would like to thank you very much.